You know that nothing has been left undone. There isn't a subject that we have not addressed. And you know that to the beginning and ending of you, you have heard the answer that you are looking for. Yes? Would you agree with us that from where you sit right now, you are recognizing that it's easier than you've been making it out to be? Can you feel the resourcefulness of Source and its ever-ready availability to you? And are you accepting that it really is your work to come into the vicinity? And do you also realize that with every effort is not the best word, because effort usually implies pushing against something, but with every concentrated decision that you make to improve the way you feel, that you then have access to more resources and more resources. Do you like knowing that you are here to manifest? Do you like the physicality, the sensuality of your physical time-space reality? Don't you love the beauty of it, the color of it, the texture of it, the sound of it, the feel of it, the smell of it, the taste of it? Isn't this just a delicious place to be focused? And can't you feel that this creative palette is just beginning, that there's so much more deliciousness to be discovered, to be desired, to be understood, and then to be realized? And aren't you pretty hot on the idea of the incremental realizing of it? Doesn't it feel satisfying to you to feel yourself off and then feel yourself on? Don't you love that self-control? And aren't you always excited when that self-control then yields evidence of your true power? We can feel that you are enjoying the understanding of your true power. And we use the word power in the sense of love, the power of Source, the power of goodness, the power of well-being, because you can't wield that power against anything. You can't use power against anything without it backlashing. You can only use power for something. You only align with goodness. So we want to say to you that the power that exists, the only power that exists, is the power of goodness. And you have been contributors of it because you have helped define what it is that you want. And the larger part of you stands in the holding of all of that and calls you into alignment with it. I will join a movement in order to positively affect this, and then we will all be happier in the achievement of it. And now you are here really understanding how backwards that is, because while you're on your movement and pushing against whatever it is that you don't want, you're holding yourself out of vibrational alignment with the very solutions you seek. Right. So when you understand that the problem and the solution are different frequencies, even the question and the answer are different frequencies, but you're here to do both. You're here to probe at the problem in order to create the solution, but then in order to retrieve the solution and manifest the solution, you got to line up with the solution. And now you know what? You all know exactly how to do that. You know exactly how to do that. You're not confused about this, are you? Isn't this idea of going general, doesn't it feel liberating to you? Mm-hmm. Aren't you eager to go apply it to the next thing that sort of gets in your face and makes you feel uncomfortable? Right. Esther has said, she's been laughing about it recently, Abraham, I don't have to line up, I've got people. I don't have to fix that, I can just call someone. I have lots of effective people around me that will wrestle that to the ground and get it in its right place. But as you were saying, you'd never wrestle it to the ground. It keeps coming up in another way and in another way and in another way and another way and another way. You can't get enough people to put out the brush fires that you're setting as you're running around with torches and dragging them in the dry brush. In other words, there's just not enough of them, you see. But when you finally get it, that how you feel really matters, and that's what you give your attention to, then everything comes into alignment. And it feels like, it's really a funny thing, it feels like finally the universe is cooperating with what I want. And we say, you were the last holdout. The universe has been cooperating. Really, we make too much of all of it. But the reason that we do is because you ask sometimes for things that you are not quite ready to hear in the fullness. When we begin with you, the first thing that we said to a group as Esther was receiving us was, if there is something that life has shown you that you want, and you believe it, then it is. In full manifestation. In other words, if you want it and believe it, then it must be. And there's evidence all around you of that alignment. Well, those are nice sounding words, but most people, they thought, at least at that time, that to believe something just meant to say it. I believe these affirmations. I believe this. I believe these annoying things. I believe them. And we say, what you believe is the vibration that you keep practicing. And the question is, are you practicing a vibration that is in alignment with what you really want and what the source within you believes, or something different? And you can tell by the way you feel. But if we begin by saying to you, well, just get happy, do you hear how many people just laugh about that? Mm-hmm. You got to be pretty unhappy before being happy is high on your list of things to do.
Right.
And when it is, then it is our knowing that you will find a way. And so that's really what we are talking about all day, every day. Okay. Getting right to the essence of who you are, and then reflecting that power back into manifestation. Let's talk about what some of those manifestations are. First, that glorious emotion that you're feeling is a manifestation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Think about it. I want that and that and that and that. And if I get that and that and that, then I'll feel good. So it's the feeling good that's the manifestation that you're looking for all along. When you figure it out, that what you're really looking for is being in the vortex, or being in full resonance with who you are, and that from that position then, that vortex in you, that complete full you, then affects the manifestations. And we've been saying it to you in many ways for many years, that you have to be in vibrational alignment with what you want in order for it to come about. And we've been talking about manifestations, but for most people, there has been a gap between this business of doing the vibrational work and the manifestations. And almost everybody says, okay, here I stand, I'm a manifested being, and I care about the what isness of my life. And we say, of course you do. Because what is. It's who you are. It's where you be. Everything that surrounds you equals the manifestation of this moment. In other words, everyone you talk to, the thoughts you think, the feelings you have, it's all manifesting now, manifesting now. So most people say, all right, here I am. I don't have as much money as I want. I'd like to manifest more money. My car, I don't even want to talk about my car. I want a new car. I'm really not very happy with where I live, and I'm looking for a relationship. I'm looking for a relationship. I'm looking for something better than what I've had. I'm looking for a relationship. So I want to manifest these things. And they feel like pinnacle things. They feel like big things. They feel like things off in the distance. I want to manifest these things. So I think I'll go to this stupid meeting. The science of deliberate creation, the art of allowing, the law of attraction. I'll go to this meeting and I'll figure out how to manifest those things so that I can then be happy. And so even though we visit in lots of ways, we talk about this year after year after year, almost everyone is still doing it that way. I want to fill in the missing pieces of my life, so I'm therefore willing to do whatever it takes to fill in the missing pieces of my life. And we say, and you said, and we know, and you know, that the only missing piece is the relationship with your inner being that you've been looking for. That's the only missing piece. That's the only missing piece. The cooperative components have already been gathered and are ready to manifest. You're just the missing link. You're just the holdout, not always, but sometimes, in being the cooperative component. So when you get it, that your work is to ignore what is, no matter what it is, to ignore it, to love it and appreciate it for the expansion that it has caused, but now get off of it and start feeling your way into the vortex. Feeling your way into the vortex. And what we've noticed is most of you won't make the effort to feel your way into the vortex as long as you have some other way of wrestling it to the ground and killing it. So let's say you're focused in your body as you are. Here you are, clumps on chairs, a beautiful room, magnificent city. Here you are, so poignantly, vitally, physically alive, right here, right now. And as you're here right now, appreciating something, so watch this. You were non-physically focused. A part of you came forth into this consciousness. You gave birth to more. The source energy part of you became it. And right now, you're allowing the fullness of that back into your physical body. the fullness of that back into your physical body. And the thing that we want you to hear above anything that we ever say, although we have to tell you it's about the only thing we ever say. The thing that we want you to feel mostly is that this is why you be here in this physical body. You said, I'll go and figure out how to be more, and then I'll figure out how to line up with more so that all that I am can be pointedly with me in this leading edge moment, experiencing the more. You see? You know what's so wonderful about that? Everything that everyone wants, no matter what it is because they think they will feel better in the having of it. So when you figure out how to have that relationship and you are already in complete alignment with who you are, now you've already come full circle to the reason that you want anything. But we want to help you to remember that you are here in this physical format because it is so delicious from your vortex standpoint to then affect manifestation. In other words, creation in this leading edge time-space reality, the stuff, the matter, the people, the conversations, the understanding, the philosophies, the economy, everything will evolve or be spawned from your aligned state of being. And so don't you just really enjoy finding alignment with who you are and then watching that vortex relationship and that connection with this energy that creates worlds? Don't you just love it when that creative power flows through your creative fingertips for the confirming manifestation of your alignment? We want to remind you, as we are bringing this gathering to an ending today, that the feeling of alignment is the greatest power that there is. The feeling of alignment is the greatest power that there is. But it doesn't end with the feeling. It will flesh out into more of the delicious things that you're wanting, and it will confirm itself to you endlessly. You are powerful creators who have had a lot of experience in manifestation. And it is our knowing, and it is our joyful acknowledgement that now that you understand who you really are, now that you understand, and you do, your emotions are guidance that let you know your relationship between what you're thinking right now and what the source within you knows about the same subject. Now that you know how to easily move into simple and fast alignment with who you really are, the manifestations will start flooding in today as evidence that you have found your place. You found your place. You're not going to come again talking about glitches and struggles. You're going to come again talking about ideas and advancement. Once you got this and you got it, you can't go back from it. You will never be the same. You can't unlearn what you learned. You can vibrate in opposition to it, but it will only help you remember it more. So whenever you feel negative emotion, it's just jogging your memory of what you know as a result of what we've talked about here today. We feel so much love and appreciation for your willingness not to just be here playing with us all around the world or in this room. It's not just this nowness that we adore you about. It's your willingness to be in this body at all. Your willingness to be out here on this leading edge of thought. Your willingness to explore and put into the vortex things for you to reap the benefit and reward of manifestation of now, or things that will be saved for generations to come who are less resistant to the idea. But we want to say to you, if this time-space reality has inspired within you a desire, this time-space reality and this nowness has the power and the willingness and the capacity to yield it to you fully now. There is great love here for you. And as always, we remain eternally and blissfully, robustly and friskily in the vortex. So good. So good. I agree. You guys are wonderful.